Welcome back, everybody. You got Will and I Man here from the Block Runner, MetaZone, and Rovi, and M Scribe.
Good job.
How's it going, I Man?
You got it. It's going good, dude. All right, so I mean, we've been on a bitmap marathon for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we figured let's cool it a bit. Let's see. Let's do some. What's the word? Peering past the horizon. Like, let's see what else is going on out there. And by doing so, we got like a nice assistance from somebody on Twitter, right? His name is Bob Bodley. Interesting last name. PhD, of course.
Yeah.
He came up with a good, overview of what's actually going on in the grand picture of things, right? Bitmap is cool and all, but Bitmap is actually just one component of like a greater overall
Bitcoin ecosystem.
Yeah, something big is happening, and Bitmap is only part of it.
Yes.
Right? So we need to kind of refocus on that a little bit.
Yeah, so Bob, he's, like you said, a PhD, entrepreneur and lifelong learner, and then he's the CEO of Bionic Market. So Bionic Market is focusing on a Bitcoin Ordinals marketplace, and this is what it looks like. So it's pretty cool.
But something unique about this, according to his tweets, is the feeless architecture. He's claiming it to be like the fastest, basically best user experience when it comes to the Ordinals market space.
Right.
So that could be for a variety of reasons. We don't really know yet, but if that is the case, it's interesting, right? To see these whole marketplace ecosystems even continue to evolve, because there is a lot of room. I don't think anybody yet is the definitive open sea of Ordinals yet.
Correct.
Right. So this is a space that is definitely welcome to competition, right?
Yeah, and so let's talk about the tweet that we're referring to. So let's kind of read it. So presenting Bitcoin layers, a simple graphic outlining all of the currently relevant layers on Bitcoin. I've spent hundreds of hours researching and discussing this privately with many smart people. I'm now in the community feedback stage. What would you add or change and why? So let me click on this. And
so we have to start in the very center, right? That's the Bitcoin layer.
Yeah, so Bitcoin, this orange part here. So Bitcoin, SegWit, and Taproot, we have partially signed Bitcoin transactions. We got BIP322, Bitcoin script, and multi-sig signing. Mm-hmm. And then next to it is a layer 2s. It's going to be Tap, ZK rollups, and ARC on top of Lightning.
Yeah, so the way he has this whole graphic architected is the things surrounded by dotted lines are kind of non-finalized primitives, right? They're in construction. Basically.
Yeah, so here's the legend. So dotted lines and lighter background mean under development.
Yeah.
We don't have anything in production yet.
Correct.
Every gray box, whether dark gray or light gray, indicates additional trust assumptions on top of Bitcoin.
Interesting.
So let's take a look at the trust assumptions here. So we have the meta protocols, Omni, RGP. We got SRC20s, which is on top of counterparty and stamps. And then we have Ordinals. BRC20s, .sats, .bitmap, and OG. As you can see, all of these are on top of a trusted layer. And the reason that is because you have to depend on an indexer.
Okay.
And so not until we have an indexer, sort of like Track, who will eventually be decentralized, then this gray turns into something else, light pink or whatever.
I see.
So
basically a little bit more centralized and...
Yeah. Yeah, you got to trust somebody for this to work.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then we have sidechain stacks, rootstock. This is one that we got to look into.
Yeah.
We have cross-chain bridges. We have ETH, wrap BTC to BTC, Liquid LBTC, ICP, Polkadot,
ICP, dude,
and Cosmos.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I've been itching to have a reason to look into ICP for a while.
Yeah. I mean, for a long time.
A long time, right? Other than the fact that they entered the market with a ridiculous overvaluation.
It's like 8 billion or...
No, it was like fucking 80 billion or something. I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why they've been only down for the last few years or whatever, a couple of years. But nonetheless, they have been working on, something that's potentially integral to this overall ecosystem map. So this is important, man, because basically what all this represents is an actual ecosystem, right?
Yeah, correct.
That's the biggest takeaway from this. Why care about all these squares and stuff? It's kind of overwhelming if you don't know what's going on. You see all this
Yeah, because we're so you could be too zoomed in on this little map,
which
here.
we are at the moment, right?
Yeah. Or you could be too zoomed in, and
Literally
all of a sudden,
zoom in, dude.
Let me see. Let me try it. There we go.
Go all the way to bitmap, dude. Can you get?
Yeah, I can't go closer.
Oh no!
Actually, I can. There we go.
There we go, dude. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
So
it's like there's nothing else
for the last like month or two.
Yeah.
This is where we've been living, and like we're like, dude, we're oblivious to like, but not really. But at the same time, we are, because that's the nature of when you're trying to build things or like really, focus.
Yeah.
You tend to like miss out on what's going on.
Yeah, 100%
outside your bounds, right? So.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's tough to stay, paying attention on everything that's going on when there's so much going on in this like little space that we're building into.
Yeah, and I think like six or 7 months ago or so on this channel specifically, we were, we weren't really like locked into any like real like something specific, right? Because we were kind of like out there scavenging, like what is going to be that next big thing.
That's right.
This is the same thing we did in the last bear market too. Like, what is the next big thing?
Yeah.
And then we spent a long time looking for all that, and it was like, man, it's hard to keep up with everything. But once we stumbled on the ordinals, it kind of like just made sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because it's on Bitcoin.
It has to be that, right?
I mean, if it was ordinals on anything else, it wouldn't be as
it's true.
Intriguing.
Well, we pretty much faded like literally every other layer one, except for maybe Polkadot and Cosmos. And stuff like
faded. I agree with the term.
As far as like our channel, right?
Yeah, but it's because we can't talk about everything.
Right. Well, and also because they all felt like Ethereum clones, copycats.
Yeah.
But this time, Bitcoin has something that Ethereum just cannot take. Cannot.
Well, Ethereum is doing ETH-scriptions, right? So
I'm talking about the provenance of the actual the parent chain.
All the other chains can do scriptions of some sort.
Yeah.
But it won't be on Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so that's largely why we decided to focus on like Ethereum and kind of just like fade what's going on in the outside sectors, but that's not to discredit their existence in any way.
Yeah, and I was actually chatting with somebody in the community, and they pointed us to Bitcoin Satoshi Vision (BSV).
Yeah,
and apparently they have 25 million inscriptions,
which is insane because Ordinals doesn't even have 20 million yet, right?
Correct. It's like 16 or 18 million.
Right.
Like
so. We're going to have to look into that just to see what the hell is actually going on over there. Yeah. But at the end of the day, my gut instinct is like, that sounds nice and all, but I mean, it's not on Bitcoin.
Yeah. And remember when we were, everything that we were doing is on Ethereum, and then Avalanche and all these other chains started popping up. Yeah. People made a ton of money over there.
That's a good point, actually. That's a really good point.
A ton of money.
You're right. Yeah. So there's a lot of like Bitcoin spin-offs, right?
And the reason is because they just copied Ethereum.
They did.
It was like the same ecosystems that were happening on Ethereum just happened everywhere else. It started at nothing. People invested in it, and it exploded.
We saw it with Binance, BNB, literally just forked and
like
copy and pasted every protocol from DeFi.
Yeah.
And just gave it a new name.
Yeah.
Same user experience and mostly the same UI. Just like a different shade of color or something like that. And it turned into a multi-billion-dollar ecosystem. And if you got in early on that, you did great.
Yeah.
And then it happened to Avalanche, and it happened to virtually every other Solana.
Yeah.
So you're right. It could potentially happen to all these Litecoin, any of the chains that are kind of like derivative spin-offs of Bitcoin.
Sure.
Right? Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Satoshi Vision.
Yeah.
And others. So it's definitely something to keep your eye on, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because there's a lot of entertainment value and like seeing all this stuff happen.
That's right.
And so
it's super entertaining. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's just we're just pointing that out. I mean, and it's like when you're a developer, you gotta pick a block. You have to pick a square and then like build on top of it.
Yeah, not just
you can't just like go to every single chain and just like start building. It's just impossible.
Yeah, maybe in the future you can once we're like a little bit more like interchain connected. It's like it won't, that won't be so much of a problem. Like
I mean, we're talking about several years.
I know. But for right now, it's like you got to pick your horse, and even like as a an entertainment participant, you know what I mean. You got to pick your horse, or you're gonna allocate your your entertainment.
Time. Your time. You're gonna allocate your time.
Right. You gotta lock up that entertainment liquidity, dude. Yeah. You know what I mean? All right. But back to this. It's like now let's zoom out, dude.
Let's zoom out. All right. So this is why this is important, because
Yeah.
once you zoom out, it's like, okay, bitmaps, cool, right?
Yeah.
Metaverse on Bitcoin, that's great,
It's fucking amazing, actually. Yeah.
right?
Doing great, by
So
the way.
what else? What else is this metaverse on Bitcoin sort of missing? What is the ecosystem of the metaverse is missing? Like
Yeah.
ERC20s, right? Obviously.
Yeah, we know all this shit that's kind of like developing on Ordinals is just that it's all captivating. It's all just so it's cool, like genuinely entertaining. Like it's fun.
Yeah, it is.
It's fun being in this Ordinal space and seeing all the new like iterations and new attempts at creating value, right? Like it's been a pretty entertaining last 6 months. Like, and I really mean that from like the actual word of entertaining. You know,
Well,
you know what I mean?
The only word of entertaining.
Yeah,
The only one.
Yeah, it's the only one.
But you're right, because we always have something to talk about.
Correct.
There's not a day where it's like we can't really figure out what to talk about.
Right, but in context of that, it's like, damn, so this is actually really cool. So you can extrapolate and imagine, you know, once the mainstream kind of like retail market re-enters the space,
Yeah.
they're going to see all this stuff too. And like, damn, this is actually really cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're human. We're human. We all have that same like gut instinct. Like, dude, we found something really captivating here.
Yeah.
Problem is, once you actually like look into the infrastructure that's supporting all this cool stuff,
Yeah.
that's where all these other like squares start to like factor in.
That's right.
You know, this is a problem. All the cool things we're creating on top of
Yeah.
Bitcoin is going to lead to some serious issues down the line.
Yeah, and that's what we specialize, is like what sort of problems are out there. Like, for example, us as developers, like
True.
what problems are we seeing, and it's
Yeah.
like where can we contribute to solving those problems?
Correct.
And then where are other contributors solving problems?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
So we have experience in this on the Ethereum side too. Like we launched a marketplace called MetaZone in like early NFT days, and it did very well because it was very like reminiscent to what we're experiencing now. The fees were reasonable on Ethereum.
Yeah, they were.
People were able to transact and purchase assets and stuff like that in a feasible,
Cost-effective manner.
correct.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like, you know, retail came in and poured in, like where now everything pretty much broke.
Yeah.
So we had to deal with that.
You couldn't buy any asset that was
Yeah.
like $5 or $10 when
Yeah.
you were paying $5 to $10 in fees.
Exactly. You couldn't build any game where like there's like a microtransaction
Yeah.
as like part of the game design
It's like 50 cents to play, but
to do something.
it was like $5 of fees.
Right. So it broke literally almost everything in like Web3.
Yeah,
So it's
it
like,
did.
fuck, what do we do? You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, like then these little squares started to emerge, right? The infrastructure, the scaling solutions of
Yeah.
the L2s, the roll-ups,
Matic, Polygon.
everything. Yeah, everything. That is largely what's going on in Ethereum right now as we speak, if you're not like paying attention.
Yeah.
Like if you see like what investors are pouring their money into, it's all like ZK.
Yeah,
Like nonstop.
right.
We've been to those conferences. Like
There's
all
like 20 different ZK projects.
I know. It seems to be what everybody like cares about, right? Because
Yeah.
you literally can't keep doing the cool stuff, which right now from this graphic is the ordinal stuff.
Yeah.
And of course the stamps and there's cool stuff happening all over the ecosystem now, but you can't keep doing this cool stuff until we figure out this non-cool stuff.
Yeah, because all the people working on the cool stuff, they're all running into the same problems.
Not yet, but well, we did it for a second with the BRC20
Yeah.
thing, remember?
Yeah.
Like for like a few days, everyone realized, oh shit, we almost broke Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
But we're going to break Bitcoin
Yeah.
at some point.
Oh, yeah. And in the next bull run,
Yeah, exactly.
it's going to happen.
Yeah, so basically history is going to repeat. And us
Yeah.
as developers, we've already been through it. So not only are we developers, we're also content creators. So yeah, our objective is we're double motivated, right? We're motivated as developers of mScribe, which is our new product we just launched, to figure out how are we going to scale into the future, right?
Yes.
Because we know the problem that's going to come.
Yeah.
Who's going to inscribe a parcel when it's going to cost $200 to do that?
Yeah, correct.
Because it will at some point.
Yeah, correct.
So we're going to have to figure out, okay, which of these dotted lines
Yeah.
do we support, right?
Yeah, side chains, right? That's why we have stacks and rootstocks. So now
Yeah.
our motivation as developers, and we're speaking on our own behalf, but
Yeah.
we're also speaking on behalf of other developers. They're going to be looking at this stuff too.
They have to.
Because they have to.
Or die.
Yeah.
Or yeah, your users just can't, they won't be able to operate and function, So
Yeah.
this is important. Right now it doesn't seem as such because the fees are low, so right now we could still have to do the fun cool stuff, right? But at some
Yeah.
point it's going to become a reality check. And yeah, us as so the second motivation is we want you guys to be well aware of like this up and coming infrastructure phase, so you can, there's a lot of opportunity in that.
Yeah.
Entertainment opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, where are the developers? They're going to go and find solutions to their problems. And then as they build the solutions using that tech, they're leveraging tech like stacks or layer 2s like Lightning, Rootstock. And like they have their own ecosystems.
That's true. Yeah.
Right? Just like Bitmap is its own ecosystem, which is a very large one, right? Stacks is also a very large one.
Just like Polygon does.
Yeah.
Just like ZK Sync does. Just like Avalanche.
Yeah.
They're all their own ecosystems, but they're all rooting to Ethereum.
Right.
Same thing is going to happen here. And yeah, ZK, I suspect ZK is going to be like the king of all scaling solutions in the future, right?
100%. Yeah. I mean, if you don't know what ZK is, we have a couple of videos kind of explaining all that. But essentially, it's a ZK rollup, a zero knowledge rollup. You take a bunch of transactions, you roll them up into a single hash, and then you post it on Bitcoin, for example.
Yeah, there's like a methodology to where like somehow the Bitcoin chain is going to be able to like authenticate or acknowledge the existence of these transactions without actually ever having to see them, right? That's the whole premise behind the zero knowledge name or nomenclature. So it's one of the more favorable approaches as far like the developers. This is what they're really focusing on Ethereum. So I suspect these Bitcoin core devs will also want the same benefits.
Yeah, I totally agree.
So we got to keep our eyes on all this stuff, dude.
We're so as we were once so close to Bitmap, right? Like in terms of like our peripheral vision.
Yeah.
Right. You zoom out and you're only looking at Bitcoin.
True.
But here's the biggest thing is we're talking about a Bitcoin ecosystem, which I never thought we would say.
True.
Right?
Me neither, dude. I thought we'd only be talking about fucking.
It's like I thought it was just Bitcoin and like Lightning, and that's it.
Yeah, and Lightning was
like,
basically dead.
Let's send each other Bitcoin, and that's it.
I know. Lame. That's why I was like, dude, the most boring.
Not lame, dude.
The most boring of things
negative.
to talk about. Yeah, what do you
mean
negative?
The most cleanest of things, but
lame.
But of course, all this stuff does make it more interesting, right?
Fuck yeah, dude, and valuable.
Yeah,
100%.
Well, and long-term sustainable.
Yeah.
Right after the year 2140, there's no new Bitcoins to be sent to miners. What's the incentive for miners to keep going?
Exactly.
Right? It's going to be everything here, and probably by the time it's 2140, it's going to be like much bigger.
Exactly. This is just what it looks like today. In a year or two, it's going to be probably 2x this, or maybe even more. Like people are going to figure out new verticals, new meta protocols, new side chains, new layer 2s. Oh, it's going to be nuts.
Dude, so what does that mean for developers? Are they just going to like migrate to Bitcoin and like...
Fuck yeah, dude. That's my prediction. I am fully buckled in. Like, I am expecting the next mania, right? The 2024, 2025 cycle.
Yeah.
To be all around Bitcoin. That's my prediction.
That's interesting.
And I think a lot of that eventually, so Bitcoin is going to, this ecosystem is going to drive a lot of like interest, but I think it's going to be so big that eventually it's going to spill into all the other,
yeah, that's true.
Ecosystems.
Yeah, it's like
just going to have.
You want to inscribe that parcel? It's $350 for the fee.
Well, yeah, that.
And it's like the hell, and then you're going to go look at Ethereum stuff.
Right, but Bitcoin like emerging as like a very competitive and attractive, developer ecosystem. It's going to galvanize like a whole new tribalism within like the Web3 space. Now the Ethereum maxis are going to. Be neck and neck with these Bitcoin maxis. Like, there's a real battle happening. Then the Solana bros are gonna be like, man, you guys are both suck.
Yeah.
We're better than both y'all. And then like the fucking Avalanche.
Bros. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. All these gangs are gonna emerge, right? And we're gonna have like the biggest fucking nerd fest of all time. It's gonna be wild, dude. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the nerd fest. All right, guys, that's it for us. Let us know if you have any questions. Obviously, we did talk about a lot here. Let us know if you want us to talk about something else. Is there something interesting happening?
Are we missing something?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah. Especially like BSV, 25 million Ordinals, dude. Or 25 million inscriptions.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at The Block Runner, at MetaZone.io, at RoviAI, and MScribe.io. We'll catch you in the next video.
Peace.